live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue. This is the QTV Nightly News with me, Jules Denjai. Thank you for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. President Adama Barrow concluded his Meet the People tour in the Upper River region on Monday before continuing to the Central River region south and later heading to the Lower River region. On Tuesday, the 26th of November 2024, the United Nations office in the Gambia commemorated the organization's 79th anniversary. And during the opening of the 32nd International Intermodal Africa exhibition, Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow on Wednesday called on the prominent global maritime business leaders to consider partnership opportunities with the Gambia Ports Authority to invest in the Gambia. And the World Bank's Group Gambia office organized a business outreach training session today to increase the participation of the private sector and civil society organizations in procurement. Now we look at how Gambians, particularly students, continue to benefit from China's educational cooperation with Africa. These and other stories coming ahead. Do stay with us. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're just tuning in, this is the QTV Nightly News. Now, President Adama Barrow concluded his Meet the People tour in the Upper River region on Monday before continuing to the Central River region south and later heading to the Lower River region. This tour highlights the President's commitment to engaging with the citizens, listening to their concerns and working towards finding solutions. Usman Jata reports.
The President's Upper River region leg of the ongoing Meet the People tour concluded with a joint meeting in Sando Daselame. Several speakers, while applauding President Barrow's commitment to development, nevertheless called on him to support the community's only hospital with nurses and doctors, improve feeder roads connecting to the highway, and enhance sports infrastructure. The President gave assurances in response to their concerns. The following day, the convoy journeyed from Mankamankunda to Brekamaba in the Central River region south, stopping briefly to officially hand over the tour from the governor of the Upper River region to his Central River region counterpart. The convoy then moved to the Jahali Pacha rice fields to assess the damage caused by the recent heavy downpours. From the Maru farms, the President's next stop was at Brekamaba, where he toured the latest agro-food processing center under the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, MAGNA. The convoy stopped at Dalaba Lower Basic School to inaugurate the school's new computer science lab, funded by the MRC Holland Foundation.
When I came for a meeting here in Dalaba, they appealed to me about the schools. Casually we discussed it, but she took it as a project. So now it is fulfilled. We are very, very, very grateful.
As the sun sets, the convoy journeyed through the dusty, bumpy feeder roads of Nyamina Dankunku. Hundreds welcomed the President.
Hello.
Alaji Kebambosh Alkalo welcomed President Barrow and his delegation to Nyamina. He also called on the Gambian leader to help with the provision of electricity, water, improved highway, provide vehicles and motorbikes for faster crime response in the area. Chief Nganyi Damfa extended a message from farmers to President Barrow while reminding him of the poor groundnut yield this season and requesting improved road infrastructure and the provision of mobility for the Nyamina police station. The Lady Councillor for Nyamina East, Fatu Sama, echoed speakers in reiterating the challenges of the poor roads and inadequate farm implements to enhance their farming. In his opening remarks, President Barrow thanked the people of Nyamina for acknowledging his efforts to promote development in their area. He further pledges to respond immediately to the major concerns they raise, ranging from road infrastructure to quality healthcare delivery. From the Central River region south of the Gambia, the president's nationwide Meet the People's tour has officially entered the Lower River region, marking a new chapter in his nationwide conversation with the citizens. On Tuesday afternoon, President Barrow's convoy arrived in Sankande, a small farming community. He was greeted with traditional songs and dances in a vibrant display of the village's pride in their heritage. Locals of all ages gathered, eager to meet the president and share their thoughts.
President Barrow, wato sita kiankole koi parete ke rajulojo. President Barrow. O ndar sidum yawti mo honna ma President Barrow. Sade be nyakono to. O wodi tema ko wodi nder to. Men jata jola ti ji senkolu. O on to bi jola ti se sara yede ti se. Imanku na masoto iman silo soto. O yede ha hande won ko be ketta sabe gala la won gala kura. President Barrow nyate hakilo fale fana kanne.
Among the issues raised by the residents of Sankande were concerns about rural development, healthcare access, and the challenges faced by farmers. President Barrow assured them that his administration is committed to improving infrastructure in rural areas and allocating more resources to agriculture. After Sankande, the president's convoy continued to Jarasoma, the administrative and economic hub of the Lower River region. In Jarasoma, the discussion focused on local governance and the expansion of regional services. Many citizens voiced their concerns about the need for better road networks, which are vital for a town of such strategic significance. President Barrow reaffirmed his commitment to modernizing infrastructure nationwide. As night fell, the atmosphere in Jarasoma remained lively, with ongoing conversations and dancing, highlighting the vibrant spirit of the evening. As President Barrow prepares to visit more communities, he remains focused on his commitment to national unity and development by engaging directly with the people he served. Osman Chata reporting for QTV News from the Lower River region.
Now, on Tuesday, the 26th of November 2024, the United Nations office in the Gambia commemorated the organization's 79th anniversary with an official cocktail reception, a celebration marked by reflections on its milestones and challenges over nearly 8 decades. Loliam Kamara attended, and this is her report.
The event, which was attended by senior government officials, diplomats, policymakers, and representatives from various sectors, highlighted the organization's enduring commitment to promoting peace, human rights, and sustainable development, especially as conflicts around the globe have severely tested the organization's effectiveness. Carl Frederick Paul, the United Nations resident coordinator in the Gambia, acknowledges the importance of the UN since its inception, adding that the Gambia has navigated a transformative path of democratic consolidation and development. Thus, the strides in democracy and transitional justice are commendable, admirable as they ensure accountability and foster reconciliation.
Through sustainable practices, renewable energy, and with the support of the international community and community-based conservation initiative, the Gambia is demonstrating that even smaller nations with smaller land can lead by example. UNAIDS have also made remarkable and commendable strides in addressing the pandemic of HIV and AIDS. In terms of sustainable economic development, ITC and UNCDF, which is the United Nations Capital Development Fund, have been catalysts for economic transformation, particularly for youth and women.
Ms. Salimatu Toure, the Gambia's recently appointed ambassador to the African Union, was awarded by the UN office for her contribution and support to the work of the United Nations. The event also featured a cultural performance symbolizing global unity with a video presentation showcasing the Union's impact across diverse regions. The Vice President of the Gambia, Mohamed B.S. Jallow, in his keynote address, points out that The United Nations has stood as a beacon of international cooperation, peace and human dignity for 79 years.
In the Gambia, we are proud beneficiaries of the global solidarity. The UN's multifaceted support dating back to 1965 has profoundly shaped our national development agenda and directly improved the lives of countless Gambians. Its contributions are visible in every corner of our society, from the rural farmer receiving climate-smart agricultural training to the urban youth assessing innovative skills development programs.
The Gambia was admitted as a UN member state on the 21st of September 1965 alongside Singapore and the Maldives. Over the years, Gambian troops have served in various UN peacekeeping missions, including in Darfur since 2004, where they were referred to as role models, heroes and gallant. As the UN enters its 80th year, and despite the many challenges it faces, the evening closed on a hopeful note, with participants reaffirming their dedication to collective action for a better future, ensuring no one is left behind. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
Now, Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow on Wednesday called on prominent global maritime business leaders to consider partnership opportunities with the Gambia Ports Authority and invest in the Gambia. VP Jallow made these comments during the opening of the 32nd International Intermodal Africa exhibition, which was hosted by the Gambia Ports Authority in collaboration with the Ports Events. Here is Ansumana Isonyasi.
This biannual gathering of maritime transport and logistics experts in Africa, organized by Transport Events Malaysia. The event is being hosted by the Gambia Ports Authority, with over 30 international speakers and experts set to take the stage. The two-day event will feature a rich exchange of knowledge and exhibitions by numerous maritime transport and logistics companies from around the world. During the opening, Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow made a strong case for the Gambia Ports Authority, encouraging investors and global companies to consider partnering with the GPA. He emphasized the country's political stability and renowned hospitality as key reasons for doing business in the Gambia.
There is no doubt that ports and logistics services are crucial drivers of international trade, accounting for over 80% of global trade. The performance of these services significantly impacts the cost efficiency of the entire value chain.
Osman Jobate, Managing Director of the Gambia Ports Authority, Sering Modunjai, Gambia's Minister of Defense, who represented the Minister of Transport, and Dr. Rory James Doyle, Managing Director of FCILT Transport Malaysia, all echoed similar sentiments. They urged delegates to explore business opportunities in the Gambia, emphasizing the significance of the event and its potential to foster new partnerships and investments.
Ports are catalysts in socio-economic development because the amount of activity that goes in countries in international trade, almost 80% of it all passes through ports. So the importance of ports being very efficient, being very productive, and to overall reduce the cost of doing business.
The discussions and recommendations that will ensue from these deliberations are even more relevant given the current realities in the world economy, such as shift in the trading patterns, development in e-commerce, mergers and acquisitions among global shipping lines.
Looking ahead in 6 years' time, MD, we're looking forward to Intermodal Africa coming back for what should be the 38th Intermodal Africa, we hope, in 6 years' time, when you'll have your new beautiful Sanyang deep sea port up and running.
Following the opening ceremony, Vice President Jallow, along with other dignitaries, was escorted on a tour of the exhibition site. Renowned maritime transport and logistics companies from around the world welcomed delegates and members of the public to their tents, aiming to attract customers and business partners while showcasing their services. Wednesday's event followed a side visit to the Gambia Ports Authority grounds in Banjul on Tuesday. Over the next 2 days, delegates are expected to engage in networking, exchange business ideas and experiences, and explore investment opportunities in the Gambia. Answane Sonyasi for KTV News.
And our report there will take us to a commercial break. When we return, we have some more stories from around the continent. Do stay with us.
Fii mooy fan fii mooy Inasa di place bi nga xam ne moom la ñëpp taam place bii bépp xeetu ataaya bu baax rek bu dugg see ci dëkk bi xamal li fii rek la am bara warga bii neex na lool saf na ba pare tamit nag am gu bu neex boo ko naanee rek da ngay kontaan ci saa si añ ba suur ba gëreesal li nga lekk jëndal baara ataaya bii ndax moom la ñëpp taam gis nga sama client bii ataaya bu neex bu ne moom laa koy njëkk a jox ndax moom kat ataaya bu neex rek lay wër baara warga bii mooy warga bi gën te moo gën a saf kon nag ràññee leen ko bu baax kon daw leen gaaw ca Banjul foofu ca Inasa di place bi nga xam ni foofu rek nga ko mën a amee wholesale wala retail mu ngi foofu ci boori court house bi foofu ca Banjul wala nga daw ci bépp marché bépp supermarket bépp bitik fépp foo dugg rek di nga mën a am baara warga bii nga xam ne moom la ñëpp di wër tey baara warga moo dàq ci warga yi man maa ngi ci moom ndax su ma mënee ataaya moom rek lay naan.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. Now to the rest of our stories. The World Bank Group's Gambia office organized a business outreach training session on Wednesday to increase the participation of private sector and civil society organizations in procurements financed by the institution. Aliou Cisse has the details.
As the Gambia continues to benefit from World Bank-funded projects, this training brings together stakeholders to discuss strategies for increasing transparency, efficiency and inclusiveness in procurement processes. Franklin Mutahakana is the World Bank's country representative in the Gambia.
The World Bank Group finance projects are largely driven by procurement. So most of them involve significant levels of procurement, and as such, procurement plays a very big role in ensuring effective implementation. Or if it is not done properly, then it has a very significant impact on the success of the project, and as such, in terms of whether we'll be able to achieve the planned development objective or not.
The workshop further looked at critical issues such as compliance with World Bank procurement policies, the tendering processes, and the role of transparency in fostering fair competition. Fatih Jany, a senior economist in the Aid Coordination Department at the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, thanked the World Bank for its support to the Gambia's ongoing development.
As we gather here today with a shared vision to unlock the door for a greater collaboration between the World Bank, the private sector, the CSOs, and our local suppliers and contractors, ensuring that opportunities are not only accessible but also equitable for all stakeholders in this development process.
Laurent Medibrito, a senior procurement specialist with the World Bank Group, shared with participants tips on how to access procurement opportunities and best practice in project finance by the World Bank without compromising value for money.
As we said, the responsibility for procurement is from the borrower, from the project, the country. But the World Bank, in case of urgent needs or capacity needs, the bank can provide to the country support, direct support on procurement, and not only supervise. So, importance of the environmental, social, health and safety issues, but also gender-based violence prevention. These are part of the bidding documents, and the contractors and consultant supervision firms, for example, in works, need to ensure that the contractor adhere to those environment, social, health, safety, gender-based violence aspects.
Participants expressed optimism about the training, noting that it will equip them with the necessary knowledge and skills to compete effectively for procurement opportunities. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Now, Gambians continue to benefit from China's educational cooperation with Africa. QTV's Janaba Sonko, who is in China, engaged a Gambian beneficiary, Sheikh Tijan Jai, who is currently studying at the Communications University of China.
Sheikh Tijan Jai is one of over 3,000 scholarship beneficiaries and over 1,000 short-term training schemes offered to the Gambia over the course of the past 8 years. Growing up in the Gambia from a humble background, Sheikh Tijan Jai never imagined getting an opportunity to study abroad, especially in China, until he's traveled to China to pursue a master's in communication at the Communications University of China. He was the Relations and Content Officer at the University of the Gambia.
I've been into communications for some time now, but having to come to CUC has really widened my scope and make me dream bigger. I said I'm living the dream in China, and you know, the campus life is amazing. I had never imagined that I'll be this happy, I'll be this free, living a life in China.
Due to an increase in people-to-people exchanges through scholarships and in other areas, China's Banjul embassy will start issuing visas in 2025. Traveling to Senegal imposes a financial burden, aside from the time spent traveling to and from Dakar by students. Here is China's ambassador to the Gambia, Louis Jean, reaffirming his government's commitment to educational cooperation.
I think that people-to-people exchange is a very important part of our bilateral relations because it can enhance the mutual understanding between our two nations and two peoples. It can strengthen, consolidate our traditional friendship. You know, China is among the first group of nations recognizing Gambia's independence.
We engaged Professor Pierre Gomez, the Gambia's higher education minister, for his views on Gambians studying in China, and he was quick to thank the Chinese embassy in Banjul for their efforts in the field of education and urged the student beneficiaries to give back.
There are many of them in different disciplines, you know, who are doing very well, and the good thing is they are very happy.
So Sheikh Tijan and the rest of Gambian youths in China, come, yes, you are in China, to seek knowledge. But like Chinese, when you are done, go back to Banjul and build the house.
Is Sheikh Tijan Jai willing to come back to Banjul and build a house as requested by Professor Pierre Gomez?
I am definitely going back. How socialist these people are is really pushing me to take up initiatives in the Gambia that I cannot basically do anywhere else around the world, if not the Gambia.
During the latest Education and Cultural Heritage Conference held in China, African nations as well as UNESCO have agreed on 3 priority areas to support the African nations' education agenda, which has to do with expanding digital literacy, also empowering technical and vocational education training, as well as building the capacity of teachers. Now, this will contribute immensely to the attainment of Sustainable Development Goal 4. Reporting for QTV News from Beijing, China, I am Jennifer Sonko.
Now the stage is set at the Alliance Francaise for the 2nd edition of the Coros Film Festival, which will take place from November 28 to 30th, 2024. In an exclusive interview with QTV, renowned Gambian British actor, writer and producer Babu Cisse, the event's organizers and a scriptwriter discussed this year's festival. Here is the report.
Coros Film Festival is no ordinary cinematic celebration. The 3-day extravaganza transforms the country into a creative heaven where stories from every corner of the globe find a common stage. The upcoming festival allows filmmakers from around the world to converge in the Gambia to celebrate the art of storytelling. Babu Cisse, international actor, writer and film director, shares what to expect on the course of the 3 days.
On day 1, we will be premiering one of our first produced Gambian films called The Audition. Justine Gouchoubar of the Alliance Francaise de Banjul was the one who's the main producer of that film. She's actually helped us raise funding for all 3 of the films and also for the festival itself. So that's day 1. Day 2, I've directed a film called Nanjan Groom, which is a horror film. So for anybody who loves a horror film, you don't want to miss this. And then on the final day, Saturday, we'll be premiering Hasim. Hasim is the film that we worked on last year, and we put a trailer up for it, and people were interested in seeing it. So this year, finally, we have the chance to show the public the work we've done.
12 films will feature in this year's festival. Looking back, Mr. Cisse says he felt a sense of fulfillment in knowing that 3 Gambian films will be premiered at the festival, and shares his foundation, the Coros Film Foundation's contributions towards making this happen.
When I arrived, what I saw was that there were some technical issues, some knowledge issues, some experience issues. And there's only one way to gain experience, and that's by doing it. So, thanks to the American Embassy, they have funded us for 3 years now. We were able to do the American Film Showcase and other programs that has really raised the standard of filmmakers in the country. Now that we have those filmmakers at a certain standard, and we're still not at the world-class level I want us to be at, but we are strong enough to compete in the sub-region.
Justine Gouchoubar, director Alliance Francaise de Banjul, says the interest in working with Babu and team started 2 years ago, and highlights aspects of the partnership.
For us, it's really aligned with all our objectives, because as actually French Cultural Center and Gambian Cultural Center, we aim to promote the Gambian cultures, and we are working also hand in hand with the French Embassy and the French Institute in Paris, who actually funded also part of this event of the Coros Film Foundation, film festival.
Suleiman Sey is the writer of the film Hasim, which will be featured in the upcoming festival.
A lot of people write stuff and it doesn't get made. So if you ever get anything produced, it's a privilege. So I'm happy about that, and I hope that it will be something people gravitate towards.
The UK-born Gambian star has this message for the audience.
One thing to say to anyone thinking of coming, it's one of the most fun nights you will have out in the Gambia. I can say this now with complete confidence. If you want to come, please call 505-4484 for tickets.
As the 2nd edition of the Coros Film Festival draws closer, following last year's success, one thing is clear. This is more than just a celebration of cinema. It's a testament to the power of storytelling to unite us all. Thursday's event is a must-see for anyone passionate about film and the human experience. For QTV News, I am Julden Yai.
All of you should go and support Babu and team. Well, this is all we have time for. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for another news bulletin. Thank you for watching.